Friends, we're bringing up the microphone. It is approximately 4:21 on this afternoon. It is Thursday, February the 3rd, the day after Groundhog's Day. And guess what? Yeah, feels like we've been here before. We've got ice, we've got snow, we've got freezing rain. Unfortunately, it's piling up as well. So in this quick update, we're going to be discussing exactly what you can expect for the remainder of the storm system, as it does impact much of the region right now, with winter storm warnings in effect for a good chunk of the territory. And we're talking about many states involved. Over 2,000 miles right now currently being impacted by these warnings. So diving on into data here as we speak. Right now, here on this Thursday, going to make this a short update, somewhere in about 25 minutes, maybe 30. I want to thank you for being on, both our friends on YouTube. Also, thanks to our friends over on Facebook for joining just now. And also, we just got the word out on Twitter and also on Getter. Get on Getter, by the way, if you haven't already. It is a free speech platform I highly recommend for everybody, regardless of your political leanings. This way, you are sure to be heard, no matter what your point of view is. It's so important nowadays. Appreciate you guys coming on. Let us know, how's the video look? How's the audio sound? And let's jump on into what's going on. We'll start you with the warnings, and there's a ton of them. These winter storm warnings, that's in pink. They continue from central northern Texas in Oklahoma City, all the way through Arkansas, southern, southeastern portions of Missouri, much of the state of Illinois, Indiana, winter storm warnings for just about all of Ohio. And then you head on into western and northern Pennsylvania, winter storm warning for much of the state of New York, basically anywhere into the upstate, you're looking at that. And also all of New Hampshire, Vermont, most of Maine. These are winter storm warnings. In the blue, that's a winter weather advisory. In the purple, this is the area we're most concerned with for dangerous weather. That is an ice storm warning. Ice storm warning has been extended into Portsmouth, Ohio, by the way. This was just a little while earlier this afternoon. It does include Chillicothe, Ohio, down towards Maysville, and then much of northern Kentucky, including the Lexington market, the Louisville market, which extends into southern portions of Indiana, through south through E-Town, Bowling Green, Paducah, Madisonville, Evansville. And then you make your way into western Tennessee, where we've had reports of over a half inch of ice, down trees, many power outages now beginning to be reported. And we will show you that during this live update coming up here in just a couple of moments. So that's what we're dealing with. We'll show you live radar update next. This is the satellite perspective, the enhanced infrared satellite imagery, showing you just the breadth of the moisture that continues to rip right on up from the southwest along a nearly stationary frontal boundary. It is moving, but it's just moving very slowly. A lot of people would like to see this pick up in speed, in timing, but unfortunately it's going to take its time, and there's still a lot of precipitation left to come from this. So let's go back over to radar. Mixed bag. We've got a lot of colors here. It's lit up. You can see the blue. Well, that's snow. And I think most people should be happy with that, although already parts of the region have been buried with over a foot of snow. It continues to fall. Parts of much of Indiana, Ohio, now making its way all the way through New York with heavy snowfall. You can see it extends a good distance to the southwest. Dallas, Texas right now reporting moderate to heavy snowfall over the last couple of hours, just now beginning to taper off. But long fetch of moisture. In the pink, that's where we're seeing primarily freezing rain. The orange, freezing rain and or sleet. And then you can see some of the returns to the south. Moderate rain, just rain in Bowling Green. Nashville, approaching Knoxville, that's just rain as well. All of this is going to be impacting our region. And I wanted to bring you up to date. I just stepped outside a little while earlier to snap some photographs. I thought I'll share these with you now. But this is the way it looks up in Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, where I measured over 1/4 of an inch of ice. That was a few hours ago. It looks like it's somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. Those big pines, they don't like that. The weight of those pines, you can see it pulling on those limbs. And it continues to accumulate, unfortunately. That's the way it looks into the wooded area there. But yeah, it's a big mess. Let's see who we have on the program, and then we'll get you updated on snowfall projections, when to expect that transition from rain to freezing rain in some areas. And then other areas, you're seeing the freezing rain now, when to expect the transition from sleet to snow. Freezing rain, sleet to snow. So we'll have that for you in just a couple of moments. If you don't mind, a quick like and share of the program. As always, it is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. I've got Scott Bristol on here. For those that want weather, you're welcome to visit me. And Scott recently moved to Florida, and he rubs it in every opportunity. So thanks again, as always, there's Scott. I've got Gregory Lewis on here. Hello, sir. Thanks for being on. Kevin on here. Not the worst drive I have had, but slow go. Expressways are plowed. So we're talking about upstate New York, of course. Tammy on here. Hello, Team Capel. Thanks for being on. Thanks for the share. Flying out tomorrow afternoon to Florida. Okay, maybe you can join Scott. Let me know how that goes. Susan on here says, I'm in northern Kentucky. It's crazy. You're seeing a ton of sleet, a ton of freezing rain right now in northern Kentucky, and that looks like that's going to continue for the time being. Donna Meeson on here. Took me 45 minutes to go the short distance from Sonia to Nunda. No plows yet. Talking about the Rochester area of western New York. And then Kara on here, very breezy in Melbourne, Florida. What's up with all the Florida people? Okay, Robin Kuhlman in the house, my sister in Texas. The town is shut down till tomorrow after a whopping 1/4 inch of snow, but a lot of ice. And yeah, parts of Texas, they're not equipped for the snow. We know that that's the case. So, all right, with that being said, it is right now 4:28. I want to keep this relatively short, but again, I want to give you a look at what's happening. We do have those warnings all across the region. It's this pink area that's most concerning, just south of Columbus right now, Chillicothe, south of Cincinnati, between Cincinnati and Lexington. Now right on top of Louisville, Kentucky, that's heavy freezing rain, and it does continue through the Paducah market. If you're up here in New York, it's all snow all the time. Light to moderate snowfall for much of western New York. This is going to continue as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon, this evening. It's going to pile up. You're talking about somewhere between 10, 15 inches of snow, some cases locally 18 inches of snow. Western New York, you're going to see similar numbers out here. Central portions of Ohio, central Indiana, I think you're looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow when all is said and done. It's a big storm, and it's going to cause some big problems as well. With that being said, I have been getting some reports of power outages. I want to pass those along to you while we're thinking about it. Looking at the state of Kentucky right now, southwestern counties currently seeing a lot of power outages. Let's go on over to the map here. And southwestern Kentucky, Hopkins County right now, it looks like about 1/3 of the county is without power. That's about 4,600 customers, no power there. As mentioned, for Hopkins County in Kentucky, you make your way Webster County, 4,000 people tracked, over 1,000 without power. You've got 1,100 without power. Caldwell County, Trigg County, 3,000 without power. You've got Marshall County, 1,500 without power. And then down here, Callaway County, just about the entirety of the county has no power. Almost 100% no power for Callaway County. So that's Kentucky. Let's check in with Tennessee. Right now, get this. Shelby County in Tennessee, that's where Memphis is at. 122,000 without power. That's more than a quarter of the population of that county. So that's a problem. 122,000 without power, just one county in Tennessee. 8,000 without power. In Fayette County, Tennessee, you've got 1,500 without power for Haywood and another 500 for Dyer County in Tennessee. Indiana, it's not so bad yet. You got about 1,000 people without power in Posey County, and then just sporadic power outages for Crawford, Spencer, and Vanderburgh County. So that gets you caught up there. Let's take another look at that satellite radar perspective before we take some comments and move on with the latest timing of the snowfall, when to expect that transition, and the latest on the amounts that we're looking at with this very progressive storm. I say progressive. The only thing that's progressing is the cold at the surface, okay? Because that boundary's not progressing much. But what is progressive is also the accumulations of ice, sleet, and snow. So we're going to walk you through that with the latest run of the HRRR and also the NAM. That's coming in now, so I can show it to you and in real time. All right, so with that being said, this is a broad perspective. I'm going to take a couple comments and questions before we move forward in time. And we've got about another 15 minutes or so left in the program. And appreciate you guys being on. Let's hop on over to our YouTube channel. Thanks for being on, John Hawkins. John Hawkins, how much ice accumulations expected for Louisville and southern Indiana? I'll have that for you coming up here in just a couple of moments. Jim Perry in the house, audio and video, all good. Thank you for that. JC Toad, still snowing here around Detroit. Thanks for joining us. George Doe, howdy. Hello, sir. And Robin Kubin, she's following us not just on Facebook, but on YouTube as well. And she said she just came in from shoveling while the kids are playing in the snow. There you go. And now for some Weather Live and hot cocoa. I want some hot cocoa, Robin. That sounds pretty nice right about now. All right. Well, very good to see you guys on here this afternoon. Now we're working our way into the evening. Here's the problem that we're going to have with the evening, because right now the temperature at last check at Louisville International Airport was right at 32 degrees. So you're just now beginning to get ice accumulations on anything elevated. The roads, for the most part, are good. Not necessarily for bridges and overpasses, but the main roads are just fine for now. That's going to change very quickly as we head towards dark, because that temperature is going to drop. And we know it's a lot colder just a short distance to the north and west. Take a look at this. This is mesonet temperatures out of southern Indiana. And I just want to point out the fact that we've got a sharp drop-off in temperatures. Take a look at where we have these temperatures here. French Lick, 27 degrees. Make that 24 for French Lick right now. You get up here towards West Lafayette, Indiana, it's 19. It's 17 for Gary. So there's a lot of cold air, and it's not too far away. All of this will be making its way towards us in a short amount of time. This is the latest run of the make that the 3K NAM, showing that the heaviest of the freezing rain between now and about 7 o'clock this evening for the Louisville market. And that will extend north of Lexington, south of Cincinnati. And then we'll go over to just sleet for a period before precipitation becomes a little lighter, and then we change back over to snow. The snow could be moderately heavy at times during the overnight period tonight for southern Indiana, northern and western Kentucky. It shows a heavy burst of snow tomorrow morning as well. Models have become a little more aggressive with that aspect of the storm. So as far as timing is concerned, this is where we are right now. And you can see that line as we make our way towards 7 p.m. tonight. That freezing rain begins to progress southward into Kentucky. And I got to say, you know, the models missed it 24 hours ago. They had the heavy freezing rain across the parkways, and it looks like they're not going to be as heavy as what's happening up closer to the Ohio River, where we know we've already had a quarter to a half inch of ice plus heavy amounts of sleet and snow. So when all is said and done, I expect between widespread a half inch of ice. I think for the Louisville market, half inch of ice will be enough to cause some downed tree limbs, maybe a few downed trees. And with that, I would expect some power outages once this accumulation does continue. The sleet's going to be a lot as well. Let's take a look at, before I show you precipitation totals, I want to show you what the temperatures are doing. So this is where we're at right about now. You'll notice the Louisville market right about 32. Still several degrees above freezing for Bowling Green. Still sitting close to freezing, if not a degree or two above for Lexington. But as we go in time, the temperatures begin to plummet quickly across southern portions of Indiana, western Kentucky, into the 20s. And it's when we drop to the 20s with precipitation ongoing, still either freezing rain or sleet falling, that I expect that just, the roads will just be a sheet of ice. Okay? Unfortunately, even treatments are going to be limited once we get into the colder air tonight, falling well down into the 20s, if not the teens, as we head towards the overnight period tonight. So that is a look at the high-res 3K NAM. I wanted to take a quick look at the new HRRR and see if it's showing the same sort of idea. So this is where we're at now. And I'm just kind of scanning this. And this is kind of holding that freezing rain closer to the Louisville market longer than what the NAM is suggesting. And then it does also show that snow on the backside. So, all right, with that being said, we're gonna cover totals here coming up in a moment. Let's go back over to live radar. And you can see everything as it is progressing here this afternoon. Major winter storm stretches all the way from Maine to Texas. And you've got this just conveyor belt of moisture. And I wanted to show you something I was playing around with earlier this morning. Didn't have an opportunity to share it, so I'll share it now. Take you over to satellite loop here, and what you have is this upper low, which is located out over the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. So out ahead of it, you have this rising motion. You got very fast jet stream winds aloft, and below it is where all the action is. And I wanted you to look at this. These are jet streams, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you with what you normally look at, upper level winds here, and they're blasting out of the southwest. So these are jet stream winds up there at about 30,000 feet or higher. And you can see they're just absolutely blasting out of the southwest. But look what happens as you make your way down in the atmosphere. So this is 500 millibar, still very strong southwest, but 700 millibar, and now 850 millibar. This is where the real issue is, at 850, because you'll notice strong southerly winds now at the 850 level, which is covering, let's see if you can follow my telestration here. So it's these southerly winds here that are pushing warm air aloft. So while it's cold at the surface, up above us, where those southerly winds are associated with that 850 jet stream, that low-level jet stream, that's where you have the warm air aloft. Now you head down to the surface, and all you have is this area of convergence. Area of convergence here, right over the same area. We've got all that warming aloft, and as a result, you've got cold air moving in from the north at the surface, warm air moving in from the south at the surface, but above, you got this warm air that's over top of it. The cold air is going to win out, but in the meantime, it's kind of that battleground that we're seeing across the region here as we speak, and that's going to lead to, again, the very messy conditions that we're expecting as we go throughout the remainder of this storm system. Again, sharing just a few photographs with you from earlier. And I'll go back over to that. There we go. This is just an hour ago I was outside. And again, better than a quarter inch of ice. I would say probably a third to about 4/10 of an inch of ice right now in the knobs. I'm expecting totals to go to near a half inch, if not locally higher. And that will indeed be enough to cause some problems, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to let that play for a moment. Meanwhile, I'm loading in latest warnings for you. And then I want to take a look at comments, and we'll finish with totals. Totals coming up here in a moment. Let's go back over to Facebook and YouTube. Got a tornado in Alabama, says Sandra. I know there were a couple of warnings earlier, but they didn't look like they were a huge deal, so I did not cover them. Northern Indiana, 10 inches of snow. Let me go over some of these snowfall reports with you. And it's been significant. I know we had 10 inches of snow near Richmond, 10 inches of snow Steuben. These are new reports. We got over a foot of snow for Springfield in Missouri. Got about 8 to 10 inches in St. Louis, Missouri. And let's see what our friends over at the Weather Service is saying. Okay, so we're out of Paducah. They're finally seeing sleet changing over to snow, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Okay. Frankfurt, we're beginning to see significant icing, at least in the trees. Roads are okay. Many areas seeing an inch or two of total precipitation so far if you were to melt it down. And we're going to go close to 3.5 inches in some areas of total precipitation, total liquid precipitation. Again, widespread reports of at least a 1/4 inch of ice in many areas and now approaching a 1/2 inch in some. This will not go down as a storm of the magnitude of what occurred in 2009. That's very good news, where you had 1.5 inches and even locally close to 2 inches of ice that just devastated the entire region, namely Western Kentucky. I believe that we're going to see anything of that magnitude, but still a big storm. All right. With that being said, it's 4:41, and as promised, we're going to keep this fairly tight tonight. I've got Kevin on here talking about slushy travels up near him. Half-mile visibility on Highway 104. Thank you for that there, David Gully. And, okay, Janice Briggs, she's waiting for her plow guy. Good, good. Hopefully he comes soon. All right, and on the YouTube, thank you for being on. If you don't mind a quick like, share, subscribe, you know, all the things that you're supposed to do. You just have to do it. But it's always appreciated. John Hopkins on here, he did ask the question, how much? How much for the Louisville market? Let's go on over to that. So let me pull up totals now. What we're expecting from this point forward, and we'll wrap up this discussion. Okay, this is, I'm going to start you with the European forecast model. No, we've got you on, hold on. Okay, yeah, I've got the European forecast model up. I'm going to show you that second, after we show you the 3K NAM. So we will start with freezing rain totals. Here you go. Additional accumulation on top of what's already has fallen. Okay. So I need you to know what you're looking at here. So we've already got between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of ice, depending on your location, for many. On top of that, latest indications are another 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Maybe shave a little bit off that because this run actually started a couple of hours ago. But still the same areas, and it's along the Ohio River and into some of the higher terrain of northern Kentucky and into southern and southeastern Ohio. That's where we're going to have the majority of the problem. So I think in Louisville, is looking at pretty widespread 1/2 inch plus freezing rain amounts, okay? Lexington market, maybe not quite as much, but I think you're still looking at maybe 1/4 inch, maybe 1/3 of an inch of ice. Sleet totals are going to be heaviest across maybe southern Indiana to near the Cincinnati market, where it's showing, you know, 1 to 2, another 2.5 inches of sleet. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now snowfall totals here on the lighter side. Oop. Wait, that's not right. Let me fix that. There we go. And this will take you through tomorrow. So it's not showing a ton. It's showing basically 1 to 3 inches of snow area wide for northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, in addition to what has already fallen. That is the NAM let's see what the latest run of the HRRR. It's in showing a little bit more snow. In fact, showing a burst of heavy snowfall across southern portions of Indiana. It's got 6 inches up towards Madison into Cincinnati, 7 to 8 inches. I don't know if that's going to verify. It's just started to advertise this, and at this range, we'll watch it. I would put more trust on the 3K NAM. So there's the possibility of a burst of heavier snow. We'll see if it materializes. The Euro from earlier suggesting 1 to 3 generally along the Ohio River with the heavier totals to the north. And the GFS here, the new run just now coming in. But with that, it's coming in pretty aggressively up there towards Madison, as mentioned. We'll see if that happens. All right, it's 4:45. We're going to bring this one down to a close in just a moment. Who do we have in the program? No, John Hawkins, ½ inch is that's enough to cause some problems, some pretty nasty problems. Lots of tree limbs coming down. You'll have some trees that come down. You'll lose some power. Hopefully nothing widespread though. All right, and well, okay, we're going to bring this one down for a close. I do want to finish though with warnings, so make sure that everybody understands where they stand. And warnings do continue for many. I'm going to take off precipitation again. A lot of returns here on radar. The actual looks like I just took the warnings off on accident. I can show you on our other source. Okay, there you go. So the this is through Pivotal Weather. Winter storm warnings continue for all areas in pink. It's the ice storm warnings that we're most concerned with in the purple. Up and down middle Mississippi River Valley, much of western northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, and now portions of southern Ohio. Outside of that, winter storm warnings do cover a good chunk of New England and the Northeast, with a winter weather advisory further south and southeast. And there's a look at the totality of the storm. Big storm. Warnings extend all the way down to Texas. Somebody mentioned that there is some severe weather across Alabama and Mississippi, where there's a tornado watch. I know they've had a few warnings so far. It doesn't look like it's anything too bad. We'll continue to monitor the situation. With that being said, appreciate you guys being on here on this now Thursday evening. God bless you guys, and just be careful. Okay, those roads are going to get slick very, very fast here this evening. As soon as the sun goes down, I think everything's just going to glaze up. I mean, it's just going to go. So I want you guys to continue to exercise caution, hunker down. Roads won't improve overnight tonight, with temperatures falling through the 20s into the teens by morning tomorrow, and precipitation continuing as we gradually transition. Depending on your location, you'll go from rain to sleet and freezing rain to eventually from sleet and freezing rain to snow. That should occur as a gradual transition process here during the overnight period tonight. In the meantime, you guys stay warm, stay safe, stay tuned. We'll be back soon with another update, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here.